everyone, Josh here, WarGamingNewb Historical, back with another hobby vlog this time around. It is all about 3D printing and what I'm planning to do with 3D printing. So, if you haven't already seen the thumbnail, obviously, I will be doing some Hail Caesar, and I'll be using 3D Breed and their files in order to create my Roman and Germanic armies. So, several years ago, around the time that we were locked down during COVID, I decided to get into 3D printing. I ended up going headfirst into the hobby, bought two Anycubic Photon Zeros, which were about $200 at the time, and then went to town. And really my output was basically printing a ton of STL files that were based around Battletech, and this was before Catalyst Games started pushing out new models for Battletech. So I spent a lot of time doing Battletech. I subscribed to a number of Patreons, some of which had commercial licenses, so I tried to sell some figures, some of which didn't, but wanted to print models for myself. Did that for a good year and a half before I burned out my two Photon Zeros. The problem that I had and why I stopped printing was that I could not find LCDs, because I burned out my LCDs for both of these printers. That was how high my output was. And I couldn't justify buying a new screen at the time. In fact, now that the Photon Zero, as you can see here, is sold out, can't even find the screens by themselves. I would have to buy a non-working Photon Zero in order to pull the screen, if it even worked, and then try to replace what I have. So, in any case, I stopped printing, and then the bug hit me again. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do for terrain crafting and for other stuff that really necessitated my desire to get back into 3D printing. Because obviously 3D printing has changed the way our hobby works now. Because we can print figures, we can print terrain pieces, all that fun stuff without spending anything beyond the cost of your materials as well as the printer. And I just bought one. I bought the Mono 2, the Anycubic Photon Mono 2, just a few days ago. And I've not stopped printing since. It's been a while, so I've been trying to fine-tune my settings in order to not have as many failures as I have been having. Right now I'm standing at around 50% failure on my prints, but really it is tweaking the settings and getting to the point where it's not going to fail as much. And it's getting there. In fact, I've made quite a few improvements, and the number of fails that I've had in the past day have lessened quite a bit. All right, that said, this is not about me just talking about the 3D printer and the setup and all that fun stuff that I have. I am going to go head first into Hail Caesar. A few years ago, I was turned on by Lack of Foresight Gaming, Jacob, about 3D Breed miniatures. You have a number of historical wargaming miniature lines. And I, of course, am looking at the Ancients, which have expanded quite a bit since the last time I made my initial purchases with them. 3D Breed started off with the March to Hell Rome, which obviously had Imperial Romans and the enemies of Rome, basically Gauls, Celts, and German tribes. And since then, since the last time I purchased, they've gone into other ancient armies like the Greeks and Persians, Macedonians, all that stuff. And you can see the list here of what they have. Now, this is not for everybody. If you are not interested in 3D printing, this is obviously not the way for you to go. For me, though, what's nice about 3D Breed, specifically March to Hell Rome, is that you get two types of sizes. You get the 15 millimeter, you get 28 millimeter model files. Right now, as the thumbnail suggests, I will be focusing on 15 millimeter. I'm running out of space, to be honest, with all the wargaming miniatures that I have. I'm thinking moving towards a model range on a smaller version would probably be best in terms of my storage. And with Mini Warmup, Brian doing a lot of smaller form factor, smaller size miniature unboxings on his channel, I figured now is the time for me to transition into that, at least for Hail Caesar, in order to get some more gameplay on the board. What I'm planning to do is create my first division of Imperial Romans, my first division of Germanic tribes, and that's where we're going to start. At some point, I'm sure I'm going to buy more of these files. Celts probably, terrain, Republican Romans, and a Carthaginian army. I mean, it's fantastic that I can print as much as I want if I purchase these files, and I can create an entire army or armies in order to play Hail Caesar on the tabletop. So, right before I show off what I printed and painted, I wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of what I purchased, which will allow me to create an army specifically for Imperial Rome and for Germania. So, I bought this pack. Actually, to be above board, I actually bought Legionaries and Command separately initially a couple years ago. But I didn't want to spend extra to get the archers, the cavalry, the Scorpion. So I ended up double dipping just a little bit and buying this pack, which gives you everything that you need. It includes the general here, your legionary command, your auxiliary archers, your cavalry command, cavalry, Scorpion, and then legionaries. So it's actually quite a great value. Because again, you get these in 15mm and 28mm files, so you can print for those two sizes. All right, next up, the Germanic army. So again, I did double dipping. I initially just bought the Germanic warriors, but because I didn't want to spend extra, I double dipped again a little bit, so I can get this Germanic army pack, which comes with your Germanic general, command, your cavalry, cavalry command, cavalry right here, as well as archers. Again, another great value in 15 and 28mm. And now I'm able to create my first divisions for both armies. Just to recap, did a lot of printing back during COVID. Stopped printing because my printers went out and I couldn't find parts. Got an Anycubic Photon Mono 2 and have not stopped printing since Friday, which was just a few days ago. In any case, I want to show off my first full cohort and other items for my Romans and my first warband for the Germanic tribes. And then you'll see that there is a lot of potential for this to become a huge thing on my channel for Hail Caesar. So I will be right back with some models. All right, here it is, the start of my 15mm Roman army for Hail Caesar using 3D breeds, March to Hell Romans. I was hoping to have some of the Germans done. Unfortunately, I didn't have really much time to do that. But as you can see, I've made some significant progress with the Romans. Got a Scorpion team right here. Got the general for the army here. And then I have one cohort. On this stand here, one of the swords on the legionnaires in the front broke off, but from far away you're not going to be able to tell that. There's the command stand right there, and then another stand of Roman legionaries with swords. So for Hail Caesar, you need at least 4 units. Right now I have the one cohort and the Scorpion, so that would be 2. I'm working on a second cohort of legionaries with Pelham this time, but I'm going to color their tunics and shields blue rather than red, so we can tell the difference between the two cohorts. And then that'll bring me up to 3. I might add another Scorpion to this unit here. I have to look at the rules, see if that's something that's doable. Otherwise, I have the I have cavalry that I want to work on, and that'll bring me up to a full division of Imperial legionaries, after which I'll probably concentrate on getting the Germans done. They will have larger stands because they will be war bands rather than units or cohorts, so there'll be more. I'm thinking of maybe 8 to 9 figures per stand. And then the base is double the size, so that'll be a good indicator of a warband for Hail Caesar. And then I'll do some cavalry and whatnot. Hopefully some range too. I have to check to see what I have file-wise in order to print. But I like the way that these turned out. The proportions when you print them out as 28 millimeter look kind of funny. They're exaggerated, more like super heroic style rather than, scale, regular scale, true scale. But for 15 millimeter, it looks just fine. I was able to paint out some of the details fairly well. It's not perfect, and again, because of it being so small, the key here to getting them done quicker is to kind of keep the paint job simple. I only went with 4 paints, to be honest, to get these done quickly, and I think that's the way that I'm going to go in terms of pinning out the army. It'll make it a lot simpler, and from far away on the table, it's going to look just fine. So anyway, that is it. If you like this video, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new hobby vlog coming out of the channel. And then click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That is the best way I can personally interact with you and chit-chat you about Hail Caesar and any other game that I cover on the channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more hobby vlog from WarGamingNewb Historical.